Alliance. You know, when you think about a protest, it makes sense that a reservation or that natives would protest the pipeline. And it makes sense that protesters would protest an official that they don't like. What does it take to put together a protest? I mean, have you ever really thought about that? The Bold Alliance is a professional protesting group. Did you know that the pipeline, the Standing Rock pipeline protest, was supported by Mr. Soros and by a California billionaire? They didn't really care about those people. Where did that money go? Water, ads, campaign flyers. So, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I am saying that if a protest is true and it's grassroots, why do they need all this money from these big billionaires? Why do they need that? I'm going to put a link in the bottom of this, a couple of different ones, and you're going to be able to read it for yourself. The article is really, really good, and I suggest that you read it. It's a Facebook article, so I don't know how that goes, but all of these protests, BLM, Antifa, they all have something in common, and that is the supporters. You can't trust any of the media, not even Newsmax. Newsmax is funded by Clinton Foundation. So it all boils down to money and politics. Why is it so important for these people to end the presidency of a man that wasn't one of theirs? Could it be that in 2016, one of his first EOs was against crimes against humanity? Is that the reason? And if that's the reason, then are they guilty of crimes against humanity? Just saying. It's just a thought. Just some questions. I was looking into some different things, and I'm going to post those probably on BitChute because I don't think I can do it on the other ones. I might be able to do it on Rumble. I'm going to try. This one here is going to be pretty tame to what I'm putting together. But think about a protest. What does it take? Have you ever put together a protest? Have you ever really thought about it? Where would you start? Now, if my neighborhood, I go out and I say, hey, let's all get together and go protest this. Why do we need a bunch of money from Soros? Why do we need to set up chapters? Because the pipeline, the water protectors now have one in Louisiana. Seems like they're going after oil, which, oil is good and bad. I don't want to see the Earth's resources all depleted. I don't want to see that. But at the same time, I know that we can't live under a Green New Deal. Think about Texas. Texas is number one in having natural gas. They also have a lot of windmills and a lot of solar panels. Well, the snow covered the solar panels, so they don't work. The windmills froze. So does green energy by itself work? No, it can't. You have to have different energies. You have to find and create new kinds of energy, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with the old ways. everybody talks about, oh, this has to change. Why? Why does it have to change? And what is their interest? If it's not controlling the masses, if it's not depopulation, if it's not a staged event, why does it have to change? There's certain people, you can't even say their names on this platform. You know, the one that has to do with the door of offense. You know who I'm talking about. You say his name, he's the biggest landowner in the United States now. Why is he going for land? You know that KFC made a deal with Russia? They're not even going to sell real chicken. It's fake chicken. It's made from cells. Okay, so people that don't want to see animals harmed, I get it. But at the same time, if you're going to eat something, eat something. Don't eat something fake. The door of a gate, the door of a fence guy, he wants to create synthetic beef. He's partnered with a food company, and they're going to make synthetic beef. Synthetic? Really? Fake food? What does our world come to? And where do we go from here? Do we, I hear it all the time that people are like, well, what do I do? Well, you are the most powerful individual. Because you have to say yes or no. You have to agree. In the state of Oregon, the governor just put in place this order. She's going to have troops. Okay? She's going to have the National Guard and the police start going door to door to start doing welfare checks. Well, I'm sorry. That's the first step. And every one of those people, those policemen and those soldiers, they took an oath to defend and protect and defend the Constitution of the United States and the people from all enemies, foreign and domestic. So now they have a choice. They have to make that choice. Do they stand with what they swore to? Because they didn't make an oath to the governor. There was a group of people back in the 30s that swore to their leader, that made an oath to their leader, and it caused the deaths of millions. I guess that's conspiracy theory nowadays, conjecture or something like that. But when we think about all of it and we put it all together, it starts with a protest funded by some big wig that has alternative plans. They've been pushing for Agenda 20, what was it, Agenda 21, right? And now, because it's been screwed up, because Trump stepped in and blew up their plan, now it's Agenda 2030, which is the Silk Road to make China the most powerful country and put us under their rule. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And it's not going to happen because we have at least 100 million people that are willing to stand for what we believe in, which is freedom. All of these soldiers, these police officers, these people that are going to be asked to do what they have to do, they're going to have to make a choice. Because if you go after the people, now you are, the enemy, right? I mean, you got these people up in Washington saying that if you supported Trump, you're a terrorist. Okay, so big deal. One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, right? I mean, like if Canada came over to liberate us from our tyranny, and they blew up all of your family, and they blew up all of your friends, and they blew up everything that you know, would you be Canada's buddy? No. No, you'd be fighting Canada, which means you would be a terrorist. Proof positive that one man's freedom fighter is another, well, one person, let me change that, one person's freedom fighter is another person's terrorist. Not taking anything away from the women of this world, because they're very powerful as well. This video is going to be just this quick one, asking you to look into the protest. Look behind the scenes of the protest. You know, look at the name of the protesters and then follow that back. And you can always find it to the money. You have to follow the money. And when you follow the money, you are going to be very, very surprised. Some people won't. Some people won't make it into the video because it's just some person talking. It's not information that they want because they want video. And I get that. But at the same time, video doesn't tell you everything. And a video, the platform you can't use all the time because it's against terms, whatever, policy. I've had 2 videos that went down because I put stuff in them because they don't like it. The truth is harmful information. Don't know how that is, but I suppose. So think about protest. Think about the water protectors. Look at who funds the water protectors. Okay? I remember when I was a child, I was just called an American Indian. And when I was a young man, I was an American Indian. And then in the 90s, they started calling me Native American. And I didn't like that much. And I didn't like that because everybody is Native American. If you were born in this country, you're Native American. So take their language, they separated it by a big hyphenated N or a little hyphenated N. Well, you know what? If you want to be politically correct, I'm Lakota. If you want to even be more politically correct, I'm a human being the same as you. I am your brother. I'm your friend. You are my sister and my brother. You are my friends. I don't fall into a category of separating the masses. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. Those are just divisive methods to separate, to create. So look at the water protectors. Look at these different political groups that are protesting. And so you find the protest, and then you look at the protest and start finding the articles behind it. And like I said, I'm going to link an article with this one so you can see what's behind that scene. That being said, I'll post another one later today. It'll probably be up tomorrow. I love you all. I hope you have a great day, and do yourself a favor. Read and research.